Everybody to our first press conference of today. And Saturday night's going to be a great night of boxing. It's an amazing night with 5 important fights on television. This is our first press conference, but it will be the second fight card of Saturday night. So after you watch the fights at the Barclays Center or you watch them on NBC, take that channel changer and go over to Showtime quickly to catch what's going to be a tremendous doubleheader of action. Russell Hyland, Pedraza Smith will take place at the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Meshatucket, Connecticut. The doors open at 7:30 p.m. with the first bout at 7:35. It'll be an undercard that's also chock full of local New England talent. Shalito Vincent, potential future opponent for Heather Hardy, will be fighting on the card, along with a number of other quality fighters on the off-TV undercard before we get to Showtime. Tickets for the live event are priced at $150 down to $45. If you've gone online trying to get tickets, you haven't been able to. It's sold out. Now, the good news is if you still want to go, some tickets were returned to the box office, so it's likely that in the next few days, if you move quickly and you want to get to Connecticut and go to that show, that you can get tickets, particularly if you're in New England and it makes sense for you to go there, make a phone call, go to the box office. The Pedraza Smith bout is promoted in association with Gary Shaw Productions and Universal Promotions and the famed matchroom boxing of Mr. Hearn and his esteemed son. The Smith family right now is one of the hottest boxing families in the world. Probably, you'd have to say, the hottest. 4 active fighters, a world champion, Stephen fighting for a world championship, Patrick Hyland from Ireland fighting for a world championship. So this is a card. I see Sky Sports in the back. This is a card with great interest to the UK, great interest to Great Britain and to Ireland. And I know that the world will be watching what goes on at Foxwoods on Saturday night. I want to bring up the man that made this fight card possible, the gentleman who runs Showtime Boxing. This is two terrific matchups, and these fights would not be happening but for Stephen Espinoza. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks, Lou. Boxing is dying. MMA has taken over. There are no good fights on TV. Everything's on pay-per-view. The best fighters aren't fighting each other. There's no good heavyweights. Do I sound ridiculous? Of course I do. Boxing is healthy and vibrant. Got more live TV coverage than the sport has had in probably 20 years. With Mayweather and Pacquiao retired, there are easily 12 or 15 boxers who are fighting to be the pound-for-pound best in the sport. There's only one way to get there, and that's for the best to fight the best, and that's exactly what's happening. On behalf of everyone at Showtime, I'm proud to be in this business. We are all very proud and excited to be delivering the biggest, most significant events in the sport live on Showtime, not on pay-per-view. We're proud to cap a big night of boxing on Saturday with our Showtime Championship Boxing telecast, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, following the PBC on NBC. This telecast is obviously part of our 30th year in this sport. It's also part of an ongoing slate of live boxing, an aggressive schedule, which is, without question, the strongest schedule of any network in the sport. Over a 12-week span, which started last week in London with the Joshua fight, Showtime is televising 7 major boxing events, including 11 world title fights. Many of these are champions fighting their highest ranked contender, all live on Showtime, all free to our subscribers. In that span, we're featuring 5 of the deepest, most exciting divisions, 2 heavyweight title fights, 2 super middleweight fights leading to a unification, 4 bouts among the consensus best 154-pounders in the world, and of course a massive welterweight showdown on CBS, which marks CBS's first primetime boxing event event since 1978. Ali Spinks won. On Saturday night, one of the potential young stars of our sport, 27-year-old Gary Russell, will be making his first title defense of his heavyweight title. But in his way is standing Patrick Hyland, a proud, tough Irishman with just one loss in his 32 fights. The winner of this fight will have the chance to join what I think is one of the most exciting potential round-robin tournaments in the sport. Jesus Cuellar and Abner Maris are fighting later in the summer. Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz are on track to meet. We saw Lee Selby with a decision over Eric Hunter. Right now we have a rejuvenation of the 126-pound division, and these two guys have a chance to continue their march toward unification. And of course, just 4 pounds away, one of Puerto Rico's biggest stars, if not the biggest star, undefeated Jose Pedraza, is facing the #1 ranked challenger, Stephen Smith. We've got two nationalities with long histories, long traditions in the sport. The UK is arguably pulled ahead of every other country, every other region in terms of world champions. And I know that Jose wants to keep his title in Puerto Rico. I could go on. Each of the 4 young men who are fighting on Showtime Saturday night really deserves full attention. They've each got 4 unique stories. They're very skilled boxers. But we have a big day today. There's plenty of people who need to talk, a lot of compelling storylines to get into. Suffice it to say, in our opinion, this is a good time to be in the boxing business. It's a good time to be a boxing fan, and it's a great time to be a Showtime subscriber. Thank you.
Just earlier this week, I attended a press conference for an upcoming Showtime show that's going to highlight the Siberian Iraqi, Ruslan Provodnikov, and a lot of exciting things happening on Showtime, including this Saturday night. First, I'd like to bring up a young man who began boxing at age 7. Actually, how old were you when you began boxing? Were you you were 9? Okay, I'm off by a couple of years. But been boxing his whole life, like a number of the guys sitting on the stage right now. Stephen Swifty Smith is 23-1 with 13 KOs from the Beatles, city of Liverpool, Merseyside, England. Over 150 amateur fights, 2006 Commonwealth Games gold medalist. He's born of a fighting family. His brother Callum is the 168-pound champion. His brother Liam, a European champion. His brother Liam is a WBO 154-pound champion. My pal Paul, his brother Paul, 2-time world title challenger, all highly successful boxers. Stephen is looking to be the 2nd world champion in the family and the 3rd reigning champion. He turned pro in 2008, promoted by Eddie Hearn and his dad's Matchroom Boxing. 6 of his 13 knockouts have come in the first round. His only loss was to world champion Lee Selby, the current IBF featherweight champion, and he's won 11 consecutive fights since then to earn this opportunity. So this is a legitimate #1 contender and a real challenge to Jose Pedraza's title. And it's my pleasure to bring up Stephen Swifty Smith.
Thanks. Feeling really good. Camp's gone well. I'm happy to be over here. It looks an exciting build. There's a lot of talent on the top table, and I'm looking forward to getting in there and proving my point that I'll be a world champion on Saturday. I couldn't have asked for a better camp really, and all you want is just everything to go well and make sure that you're in 100% condition when you get in that ring, and that's how it's gone, and I feel good. I'm looking forward to it, and it'll be a good night Saturday. Thanks.
In my mind, Jose Pedraza is already the best fighter on the island of Puerto Rico. In fact, I know that. He's 21-0 with 12 KOs. His amateur record was 160-16. He was a Puerto Rican Olympian. He turned pro in 2011. His competition since he turned pro has been stellar. From the beginning, he's fought the best. He won the WBC youth title, the USBA title, the IBO titles at super featherweight before capturing the IBF super featherweight world title in 2015. He's one of the many ShoBox alumni to go on and win a world title. And interestingly, he fought on ShoBox Tevin Farmer. And at the time, Tevin was 7-3. And clearly Pedraza beat him, in a fight that was a clear win. It was a quality opposition, but a clear win. Since that time, Tevin Farmer has gone on to reel off 14 consecutive wins and established himself as a title challenger. That's who this young man fought in one of his first 7 or 8 fights. And the quality of his opposition has continued on that road. His last fight against Edner Cherry was a war. Jose pulled it out like a champion in those championship rounds, but it was a terrific performance by a good veteran in Cherry, and a fight that really established him as the quality champion that he is. Now his job is to get in there and beat a very, very, very tough man, a real challenger to his belt, someone that's coming to win and bring that title back to the UK. And then his job and our job is to get him the attention that he deserves as the best fighter on the island of Puerto Rico, as the greatest champion on the island of Puerto Rico. I'll bring up my partner who will translate, Javier Bustillo from Universal Promotions, and the champion, Jose the Sniper Pedraza.
It's a pleasure to be here working. I'm excited to be working with my partner, Ludi Vela, in this show. And thanks to all the people from Showtime to backing this up and supporting us, and Al Hyland to support our boxer, Jose Pedraza. For we are clear that he's the best boxer in the world, and he'll have a war, and he'll demonstrate Saturday night. With you, Jose Pedraza.
Gracias un montón. Estoy muy contento de estar aquí presente. Pensé que este día, o más bien uno de estos días, pensé que nunca iba a llegar. Fueron tantos meses de arduo entrenamiento y llegó el momento. Estamos en la semana ya, la última semana para demostrarle que estamos hechos.
Thank you very much. A long way. I thought this day will never come, but I'm really happy that the fight week, and we're here ready to present the good fight.
Estamos muy bien, estoy muy bien, me siento muy bien. Como dije anteriormente, fue un campamento muy intenso, muy largo. Voy a venir como nunca, más rápido, con más movimientos laterales, más fuerte.
I feel very well. I'm in my best. I'm coming more faster, more lateral movement, more stronger. Saturday night.
Así que no se pueden perder este gran cartel, porque va a ser un cartel de mucha emoción junto al compañero Gary Russell y Stephen Mee, pues que se prepare muy bien. Yo sé que no tengo duda que está bien preparado para tener un gran cartel y una gran emoción para los fanáticos.
Okay, this is going to be a great show. Very excited to be in Gary Russell. Don't miss this show. Don't miss this fight. I'm very sure that Stephen Smith came ready, so you won't miss this big fight with me and Stephen Smith in the ring.
Muchas gracias y Dios me los bendiga.
Thank God you, and thank you very much.
No, está bien.
Now, the young man to my right began fighting at 7 years old. Right. Okay. We're going right from the 130-pound world title to a 126-pound world title. Gary Russell Jr., in my mind, may be one of the handful, if not the top, physically gifted athletes fighting today. I mean, his natural ability is tremendous in the ring. He's a handful for anyone and has an excellent chance, if he can get past young Mr. Hyland to my left, to get into that round robin that Stephen was referring to and potentially come out as the man. He has that kind of God-given ability. But if he's looking past Patrick Hyland, which I doubt he is, but if he is, he's making a mistake. Patrick also belongs to a fighting family. He turned pro in 2004. His brothers Paul and Eddie also boxed professionally. He was trained by his dad, Patrick Sr., until his untimely passing in 2015. He's managed by my friend Brian Peters, who's one of the top manager promoters in Ireland. And Patrick has been one of the best fighters from his country for a number of years now. He is a true professional. Former Irish featherweight champion, former Intercontinental super featherweight champion, former IBF International featherweight champion, former WBF featherweight champion, and now getting an opportunity again for a real world title, not an interim title like he fought for in his only loss, a very spirited and tough decision loss to Javier Fortuna, and he gave Fortuna all he could handle in that fight. But you know, the story of Patrick Hyland in this fight, it transcends boxing. You know, the past 12 months for Patrick have been about as emotional and trying and depressing and life reaffirming as a year can be in anybody's life. I asked Patrick if he mind me discussing this, and I'm happy that he said no. He didn't mind. His dad, Patty, who is a great guy, a great boxing guy, had been battling depression, unknown to a lot of people. He lost that battle. My brother lost that same battle. So when he came to me, Patrick, and said, in fact, like a couple of weeks after his dad died, and came to me, and his wife Lorna had just given birth to his first child, a son. So within weeks of losing his dad to suicide, he had a son, which I think was a wonderful blessing for his family in getting through what was a horrible year. But he came to me and he said, Lou, I need to prove myself now. It's the time. I need to go out there and do the best I can. I need to fight the best. I need to do it for my dad. I need to do it for myself and for my family. And thank you, Gary, for giving him this opportunity. And thank you, Stephen, for buying this fight. This man is a deserving challenger. He's a great human being and an inspiration to me. I'm very proud to promote Patrick the Punisher Hyland.
Thank you, Lou. Thanks, Dave, for everything. Like Lou said there, trying to get me choked up, but now I'm passing all that on. I'm ready for Saturday night. I've trained so hard for this, and you know, to look up to the heavens and tell my dad that I've done it, that'll mean the world to me. To fight a fighter like Gary, an absolute, to me, is one of the best out there, and for me to challenge a guy like this is a dream come true. To fight for the WBC title is another dream. To be the second Irish man, if all goes well Saturday night, to become champion is great. I'm just excited. I'm ready. Training camp was brilliant. Feel so strong, so good. On weight, on cut. Just looking forward to Saturday night. And again, I'd like to thank Gary for accepting this fight. And I'm hoping we put on a super show for them all. And could be a fight of the year I'm looking at. Thank you.
So this 2005 National Golden Gloves Bantamweight champion was a 2005 and 6 U.S. Amateur Bantamweight champion, 2008 U.S. Olympian, also a fighting family, trained by his father, Gary Sr., 6 brothers, all named Gary Russell, 5 of whom who box, and his brother, Gary Antonio, who most people call Antonio, will appear on Saturday's undercard in Connecticut. 2011 Prospect of the Year by Ring Magazine, Sports Illustrated, and ESPN. Only lost to Vasyl Lomachenko via a majority decision in a fight that could have gone either way for the vacant WBO featherweight title. Highly competitive, spirited match. And frankly, the rest of Gary's fights have been fairly one-sided, which is a testament to tremendous God-given ability. No further ado, it's my pleasure to bring up Mr. Gary Russell Jr. from Capitol Heights, Maryland.
First and foremost, I gotta give my condolences, man. For real. You know, I heard him say that he was trained by his father. Me and my younger brothers are also trained by my dad. My father he's my favorite superhero. You know, so it's definitely very, very hard to deal with a situation like this and to bounce back and to grind and put all the hard work and effort into it after the fact of the heartache, the loss. I gotta take my hat off to you for that. Secondly, I hear everybody come up here and say they had a good training camp. I can't say the same. My training camp was hell. I get cursed at, I get yelled at. I feel like the worst fighter ever. You know, all the hard work, the sacrificing, the time and effort to all the fighters out here. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, cutting weight, just making a sacrificing, man. But we ready. We always ready. We hungry. I'm excited for Saturday. My younger brother, Antonio Russell, he fighting on the undercard. That's gonna be sweet. I'm working this corner, by the way, you know. And I'm glad everybody came out to support. I'm planning on giving everybody a good show. We ready. I'm gonna see y'all Saturday.
So again, Saturday night, doors open at 7:30 at Foxwoods Resort Casino. I think a few tickets will be going back into the box office in the next day or two. So if you're in the New England area particularly, and you're not going to be at Barclays Center on Saturday night, the room's going to be full. It's going to be rocking and rolling. Showtime, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. We're going to pose the fighters now, and they'll be available between the two press conferences for members of the press to talk to. Thank you.